Welcome back, everybody. I hope my mic's on. Yes, okay, my mic's on. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I know it's been a while since I've done a live stream, and I want to get back into doing them regularly, so this is the first one, I think. Maybe the second. Yeah, no, I think it's the first one post-baby. I have a lot of new subscribers, so if you are new here, thank you so much for subscribing and joining us. I like to do these live shows because it gives me a chance to interact with you guys, answer questions live, and we can just, you know, have a good time. So I've got a lot of stuff going on right now. There's a lot I'm going to tell you about, and we're going to do a big-ass frame staple. And I'm going to walk you through and show you exactly how I go through my build when I do the really big frame staples. First, we'll start with seeing what's going on in chat. I see a lot of new names. What's going on, Robbie? Hey, Jim. We got Kanisha, Jeff. What's up, buddy? Dems Vapes, Ohms Law Coils. That's a mouthful. Josh. We got Giovanni. What's going on, guys? Thanks so much for being here. All right, so a lot of exciting things going on, guys. A ton of new products on the website, but I'll get to that. I'm having a lot of products come in for me to review. So I did post the Washington RDA, if you've seen that. That's a really cool RDA to play with. Obviously, you guys saw my Dead Rabbit review, and I love that RDA. If you guys can't tell, like, all my pictures on Instagram are of builds in that because it's just really easy and fun to build with, and it's just a really awesome deck for, like, taking pictures. But I have some new stuff besides that. Vape sent me the Druga. So I have the Druga here, which, man, that tarnishes quickly. I have the Druga, and I have the Merlin Mini RTA in rainbow with the RDA top cap. And I really didn't think I was going to like this RDA top cap portion thing, but it's pretty cool. I'm very pleasantly surprised with how well everything fits together and how well it hits and vapes and the flavor. And when you use the RDA, it turns into a bottom airflow, obviously, because it still uses the same base. Here, I'll actually show you as I'm doing this. So for anybody who's not familiar with how this tank works, it's really simple. And there's the deck. And the airflows are directly underneath those coils. So the RDA piece is actually this little ring that screws on here. And then from there, that just makes it an RDA, so you've got your dripper. Boom. And it's pretty awesome. So I've really been enjoying this. I'm trying to put it through its paces. There's a single coil deck that comes with it that I haven't tried yet, but I will get to that eventually. I think I'm going to put I'm going to put this back on. But I also have the Condor RDA, which is a really cool device. I didn't think I was going to like that much, but I've really, really enjoyed my time with that. I picked up a new mod for myself. This is the Subohm Innovation Sub-Zero mech mod, And I also have the matching RDA for that. And my buddy Colin, if you guys seen him on here, he and I worked out a deal for this one. So I'm really excited to have this. This is the only mech that I have that's non-hybrid. I've got the Ruby mod, which is all in one. It's the mod and the RDA built in together. And I have the rig V2, but I don't have the hybrid cap, like the plate. So I haven't been able to put any of these RDAs onto a mech, but now I can. So I'm really, really pumped about this. I've got some really cool juices in. I got Hometown Heroes new line. It's called Laser Wolf. I have a review on this line coming up. Right now I'm vaping it's called Sticky Bun Ice Cream, and it's pretty awesome. Another one of those cinnamon. I didn't, I'm not huge on cinnamon, but they do it really nice. Let's see, what else do I have going on? Oh, okay, some other things that I've been, this I've been really slamming on. So Coil Master contacted me, and they wanted me to try out some of their stuff. So I have their new mini DIY kit and the 521 tab, or the 521 Plus tab. And so I haven't had these long, so I'm really going to put these through their paces before I do a review on these, because I'm going to beat the shit out of these tools before I let you guys know if I can sign off on it or not. I want to see if the tools will hold up, if it's worth the money, or if you should just go piece a kit together like I do. So we'll see. It is handy. I will give it that. It's I mean, I could really see using it like if I travel and not having to like pack my shit up in a fishing box. As of it, like right now, like I have to remember to use it because it's all like tucked in nice and like on the side of my table here, and I just have my tools everywhere, so it's a lot easier for me to just grab what I need from right in front of me than having to take it out and put it back into here, because I'm kind of neurotic like that. Like I can't just have it being out, like it has to go back in its home. But we'll see. These things freak me out, these kind of pull out scissors. I know there's like guards in there, but every time I do this, I feel like I'm gonna chop my fingers off. So those kind of sketch me out, but they're nice scissors so far. But as I said, I'm gonna beat the shit out of those, and I will let you guys know. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep this out and build with it. Yeah, I'm gonna build with this for our video here. All right. Get a little organized. I got some juice. Okay. All right. Boys too. Oh, also, I've got some exciting things going on. Okay, so all my giveaways when I'm sent extras, and so as I'm sent stuff, if I'm lucky enough to keep reviewing different products, if companies decide they like to send me products to review, I'm going to excuse me, I'm going to keep what I love, and the rest of it I'm going to just give away. Now, as of right now, I don't have many extras yet. Things I still have to review things. I do have one or two extras that I am going to give away. And I'm going to be doing my giveaways on my Patreon. So the Gold Watsons over there on Patreon get first crack at everything. So if that's something you're interested in, I mean, you win a giveaway, it pays for itself, and you get to help support this channel and allow me to do things like this. But so if you're interested in that, you can go check out the Patreon page. The link is in the description. You get free coils and stuff. It's pretty cool. But so let's see, I have a Condor to give away, and I have something pretty cool coming that I'm really super excited about. I've never used a squonk box. It just hasn't, I just haven't had that opportunity. I haven't even used somebody else's. Like that's how it is. 5G Vape, the manufacturer of the Washington. Oh my god. Ugh. The one with the magnet top cap that I thought I was going to hate, that I ended up loving. These guys make a wooden squonk box and they were nice enough. They're going to be sending me one. They may send me a second, so I might be doing a giveaway. The 5G vape squonk box. I'm not sure any details on it yet, but I will let you know when I get there. So I'm really, really excited because like all these new RDAs all have squonk pins now, and I've never got to try them out. And I feel like, you know, I'm doing a review on this product, and I want to give a complete review and my opinion on all the features and how they worked for me, how they didn't work. And without being able to do the squonk part of it, I feel incomplete. So I'm really excited to be able to start doing a whole picture kind of review on these squonking bottom feeding devices. All right, let me check up in here. Dead Rabbit, yeah, phenomenal. Dead Rabbit's phenomenal. They're actually coming out with colors. The Dead Rabbit, I don't know if you guys have seen it. They're releasing a whole bunch of different colors. So I may be fortunate enough to... I might be getting one more of those, one of the colors to do some photography for. So if that's the case, I will give away my other one. Welcome everybody. Yes, welcome everybody who's just tuned in, and thank you for watching, and for anybody who's watching the replay. Alright, so what else? New coils. Okay, I am doing a little bit of a transition. Trying to decide the fate of the website. I may just start shooting for just really, really exotic coils, like corrugated, big, framed, staggered, kind of like 10 ribbon core alien fraples, things like that, and just solely kind of do that arena. Or I'm going to keep it the way it is, where I have a whole bunch of different stuff, but I'm incorporating different materials. I have some stainless steel coils on the website now. Like I have a 3-core fused clapton, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite coils. I loved the 24 by 40 dual core fused clapton as like a, you know, a non-frills kind of go-to coil. But I've been doing 326 by wrapped in 42 stainless steel. That coil is absolutely incredible. I love that coil. So I put that up on the website. I have 3-core alien claptons in stainless steel. Oh, I have nichrome 90. I finally got nichrome 90 in. I worked out a deal with a with an overseas manufacturer. So I am carrying nichrome 90, and I'm also going to be doing some nichrome 90 coils, so keep an eye out for those. I have fused claptons on the website now, and the nichrome 90 3-core alien claptons, which are pretty intense. So, but pumpkin ohms, what's up, Jeremy? Hey, Heathen, what's going on, buddy? We're just talking about the rabbit. So that's enough of what's new, and I think, yes. Okay, oh, another thing. I've been building a lot. I've gravitated from 0.5 ribbon to 0.4 ribbon. It's been allowing me to get a lot more into these coils as far as size and scope and intricacy, and still be vapeable. So I can do a 12 ribbon core framed staple and still have it ohm out on a dual coil to like 0.18, which is or I'm sorry, 0.12, 0.10, which is really cool. So that's actually what I'm going to show you tonight. Also, a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Batteries. I've been getting a lot of questions about what batteries I recommend, especially for the intense builds that I do. And for my max and my low builds, I transitioned completely to one individual type of battery, and that is the Aspire 1800, and it's an ICR. It's a fantastic battery. I can't say enough about this battery. So this is my recommended Mac low build battery. So for other things, like box mods and not real low builds, I went with a 3000 mAh LG GH2, good all-around battery, 20 amp battery, and it's good battery life. Like, it's great for my wife. She uses these in the Rouleau and things like that, and it's just like a good solid battery for those kind of builds. So those are the two batteries, and I still have a whole bunch of 25Rs. So those are the three batteries that I'm using right now, but the Aspires are for my really low crazy builds and my mech mods. Okay. I left my list somewhere. I don't know where I put my list of things I wanted to talk about. So we're winging it, but let's start building. For this build, okay, for the frame staple, we're going to do 10 pieces of 0.4 ribbon in the center, and we're going to frame it with 28 gauge. And I'm going to use kanthal for all of it. And the reason I'm using kanthal, it's a specific reason. I'm using the kanthal because I want to be able to vape this, and I want to be able to do it on a dual coil setup. So if I use nichrome or stainless steel for this build, with this many cores and this much wire, it would be really, really low. The resistance would be really low, and I don't think I'd be able to get a dual coil. So what I'd like to do, I'm going to get everything together. All right, so, all right, 28 frames, 0.4 for the ribbon, 0.4 by 0.1, and I'm going to use 42 stainless steel, or should I do 46? Or 40? No, let's do the 42. I like the stainless steel because the color is absolutely fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Heathen, the man himself. Yeah. I think Vaping Heathen, even if he quit his channel tomorrow and quit vaping altogether, years from now, Heathen will still be spoken about in song because of this thing. Alright. Let's get to building. Alright, I'm going to get in like tutorial mode here. So, if you have questions, I don't know, just keep posting them. Hopefully I'll get to them. I'll look up periodically and try to answer some questions. Alright, so let me get my tools here. Here's another thing with this. Well, I guess I could just pull all my tools out and let them sit here like I do with my other tools. Yeah, I guess I'll just do that. Okay, here is one thing I don't like about this Coil Master kit. A, it's hard to get everything in and out of it, but so the pliers have teeth on them, which I'm not a big fan of. There's specific circumstances where I want teeth on my pliers, but generally I don't. So I'm going to kind of just leave those for now. I will use the flush cuts. What am I going to put this in? What do I have empty? I already have a big ass build in there. Fuck, I have a build in there. I have a build in there. Alright, we'll figure that out at the end. What RDA I'll put that in. Actually, you know what? I'll probably, since Heathen's here, I'll put it in the Dead Rabbit. I'll show you what a massive build, like how big of a build we can actually fit in there. So, I don't need anything else right now. Right, okay. I'm going to be doing probably a 5 wrap and a 3mm bit. I don't need that right now. Okay. Yep. Oh! Sherlock Holmes t-shirts. Nearly no markup. Just to, you know, get them out there. On the website. Hoodies, mugs, all kinds of stuff. Alright, so to get into this, I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to start with my 28 gauge frame. I'm going to pull a piece off at 18 inches. And with 28 gauge, it's pretty easy to work with. You don't have to stick it in the drill and straighten it. Unless you have like wild kinks in the wire, you're good with just pulling it straight with your pliers. Alright, so that's straight. Now we're going to prep our ribbon wire. Now take your time with the ribbon, be very gentle with it, handle it gently. I highly recommend, Ethan, man, stop, thank you, but stop, thank you. So with your ribbon wire, take it off gently, be very careful, try your hardest, like pay extra attention to your spool of ribbon wire. Try your hardest not to let this despool on you, like when you let it go and it like unspools. Try to not let that happen, because that could really screw up your whole spool of ribbon and make building way harder than it needs to be. But so take your 18-inch pieces. So I'm going to do 10 cores. So I'll need 5 18-inch pieces, and I'll put those together, thread them through the swivel, and fold them together. So that'll make my 10. So I'm going to cut 5 18-inch pieces off. And then once I have them all cut off, I will straighten them out. These are going to get attached to the swivel first. Then I will do the frames. Come on now. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, if we have an extra one, we'll just do 12 cores. No problem. All right. Okay. So I could, because the ribbon wire that I have is a really great quality wire, I could just take it as it is without straightening it, because it only has a slight bend in it. So I could take it like this and use it just like this without straightening it, but I don't recommend that, especially if you're, you know, just learning this build or still having a little bit of trouble with it. Not having, you know, really clean ribbon wire can really make things more difficult. So for the sake of example, I'm going to straighten these out. It just takes a little bit of time, so you know what, I'm not going to do it because it does take a lot of time, so I'm just going to do it. But for those who need to straighten it out, just grab it between your 2 pliers. Actually, yeah, I'm glad I'm going to show you this. So you're going to take it between your 2 pliers. Here's the best way to straighten it, because if you pull too hard or too far, it's going to screw with the integrity. So you're going to go from like a 0.4 to a 0.3 if you pull it too hard, because it's going to get thinner as you pull it. So when you have it at max like a max tension without stretching it, this is where I'm going to just use a lot of force but not pull all at once. I have it at its complete tension. I'm just going to do like not even till I feel it move. Like as soon as I feel it about to stretch, that's it. That's all you need, because if you pull any further, you're going to have some pieces are going to be wider than others, and it's just not going to look clean. So just enough just for it to get straight. And if you're having trouble finding where that is, like where that sweet spot is, when you're doing like this and you're pulling, you can just let go at any time to see if it's going to be completely straight or if it still has a bend to it. Actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead and do them while I'm doing it. Take your time here. This is one of those builds where prep really makes a whole hell of a lot of a difference. Anytime I try like fudging it, or if I'm being lazy and I don't, you know, there's a little twist in that ribbon wire. No, I'm just going to wing it and go with it. I always end up regretting it because it makes your life so much harder. I mean, this could be a really difficult build without any kind of hindrance or error in your prep work. So that's a piece of round wire. Okay, there we go. So when I have just all my ribbon pinched together here like this, it's not in any particular order yet, and I know you can't really see this all that well, so I'm just going to do the best I can. What I do is at the tip top here, I kind of just like fan it out, like I'll fan the ribbon out so it's kind of even, and then I pinch right underneath it and twist these fingers so they're opposite and pull up, and that generally will put the whole thing in line. So really the rule of thumb here is like pinch in opposing directions, but right now it really doesn't matter. Like these aren't here, they're like out of order. They're not stacked at all, and it's fine. I'll show you why. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the tips together so they're nice and even. They don't have to be in line or straight yet, and I'm going to pull them through and touch the ends so they're lined up as well. Gonna give them a nice clip here so they all have nice clean ends, nothing to get snagged or rubbed up against. So I have my ends together nice and neat, and I'm just going to kind of form the ribbon up to the top so I know it's nice and even. And when I'm here at the top, now I can start pinching up here, and I know everything's straight so I can let this end go. It doesn't matter that it's all fanned out. I hope you guys can see that. Here's where we're going to straighten them out, get them lined up, get them all parallel and stacked. So really I take, I wish I had like an up close, but so the ribbon is vertical, and I come and pinch down on top of that vertical and kind of just pull out, and you can kind of just wiggle your finger like as you have it pinched and pull it out, and eventually the wire will just line up for you. Really, as of right now, I'm only worried about the swivel end because I just want to set the frame, and then once I get the frame set, I'll worry about getting the rest of it stacked nicely. So here's my wonky frame because I'm pretty sure I like put my elbow on it, but I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to thread it through the swivel end and line up, get off there, line up one end, pinch the other one, pull it down. Is this the right piece of wire? Yeah, alright. So right now I have, I hope you guys can see that. It's not stacked or anything, it's just looped in there, and I'm just going to pinch that down as well. So again, just kind of pinch in opposing directions to get everything lined up. Once you get the swivel end lined up, I can just pull tightly down and it's lining up as I go. This is where you want all clean cuts here at your chuck end, because if you don't, these aren't going to line up well for you. They're going to get stuck and they're not going to fall into place. So just try to make sure your cuts are nice. Alright, so everything's looking pretty good now. I'm going to come back up to the top and I will start actually setting everything together. Now you can use something like a key ring. These are really, really tight, or at least any of the ones that I've seen. If you can find one that's not, I mean, this is like a crazy one. This is really thick wire that it's made of. You can use anything, clothespin, mini clothespins. I use these little paper clips. They are the perfect size. They're really light. They don't go flying off on me. So I'm just pinching everything. I have it lined up and I'm pinching it so everything's stacked exactly the way I want it to be. And I just slide my paper clip. I'm pulling and pinching tight, so as I put this on, it's not going to bend or twist anything. but I push it on until it's secure. And now, so that point is not going to go anywhere. It's nice and secure. It's straight. Now, I do want to flip it over and check just to make sure everything is lined up. With the 0.4, sometimes one piece of wire can kind of like escape on you almost, and it'll like twist and you won't catch it because it's so small. And so you'll start going down, and then all of a sudden you realize there's one horizontal piece of wire, and you're just like, shit, you know. So definitely make sure as you're securing your cores that you have both sides nice and stacked without any stragglers. Now just keep going down your core wherever you think if you need more than however I'm going to use, I just kind of wing it here. But I guess every 2 to 3 inches is sufficient. If you need to use more, then by all means go ahead and use more. You just want to make sure that whatever you're using to keep your cores together does just that and keeps everything tight and bound together. I do words well. I need a scrap piece of wire here. Shoot. Alright, I'm going to cut a piece of this alien. Alright. See, I have a straggler. I have one piece that's outside the frame. Alright. No problem. I'm just going to... oh, I just bent the hell out of it, too. Gotta love live streams. Ugh, I just did it again. Alright, so in this instance, I'm going to isolate my frames so I can get my cores set again, the ribbon cores, and start the process over again. I can't even find the damn frames. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take the frames out. Oof. I did a number on that piece of ribbon. It's got a hell of a kink in it. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. This might really jam me up, but we'll find out. If you have bad eyes like I do, you have to almost pay like twice as much attention. Because to me, that piece of ribbon that was outside the frame just looked like the frame. And it's really hard to distinguish what's what when you're working with higher gauge stuff. So I'm resetting my frames now onto my cores. I think everything's right. Same process. I'm just going to go down the line with the paper clips. Ideally, you'd want to use as little... What the hell? You want to use as few paper clips as possible. Every time you encounter a paper clip, you're going to have to stop and restart your wrapping, which for some people I know is a difficult task. And I mean, it is for everybody. That's where, if there's anywhere that I'm going to mess up, it's there when I have to restart the wrapping, or the stapling, whatever you want to call it. Especially when you're like in a groove and you've got a good tension and angle going and it's coming out really smooth and slick, and then all of a sudden you have to stop to move a paper clip. So, you know, if you can get away with 3 paper clips as opposed to 4 or 5 or whatever, use as few as possible is my point. Alright, I think I'm good to go. I just took that scrap piece of wire here, and that's annoying, and just tied everything together down at the chuck end. Whoa, whoa. Dropping my nichrome 90. Alright, let me move that. Alright. So I'm throwing this in the chuck and just tightening it down, trying to get it as centered as possible. It's going to be a little off-centered because I can't put this fat frapple right in the middle of the chuck because it's so fat, so wide. So I'm just getting it as centered as possible. That should be fine. And what's nice about a coil like this is once you get it started, and if everything's correct and the way it needs to be, once you start wrapping, frame staple kind of has the tendency to almost like lay itself together to keep itself on track. Like if I'm doing 6 or 8 cores, pieces of ribbon cores on a build like this, I won't use, sometimes I won't use any paper clips, or sometimes I might have to use one, because as you're going down, it has the tendency to kind of stabilize itself sometimes. As I said before, I have a 42 316L stainless steel, and I'm going to staple this these wires. Yeah. All right, what's going on in chat? We got Heathens here still. Thanks for sticking around, buddy. Micah, what's up, buddy? Vape heads. Jeff. Got Jeremy, Kanisha still. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Let's see. Right now is a great time to ask questions. I'll try to get to some questions right now if you have some. Heathen, I'd like to do create some content with you sometime. Tiger coils and the Druga. I like the way the Druga looks. You know what my favorite part about the Druga is? The way this top cap, or this drip tip looks. But you know what I've been doing? Because it's too short. Like I don't like my lips so close to the top cap. I take the Dead Rabbit drip tip, the beautiful acrylic, and pop that on there. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, or the green one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The Dead Rabbit just keeps on giving. But it does look, it looks fucking cool. And I like the way it says Druga on it. I thought that was pretty neat. It is not, I wish it was just a little bit longer because I like how wide open it is. Like it's a nice big gaping 810. I haven't even had this like 36 hours yet. I just got it the other day. Within 12 hours, yeah, I dropped it. There's a nice big scratch down the barrel. Butterfingers, I tell you. All right. All right, so, oh, right, questions. Anybody got questions? You're welcome, Mike. Favorite build in the Dead Rabbit? This coil is absolutely fantastic in it. I'm really, really liking the staggered, well, what you guys would call the staple staggered fuse clapton. I call it a staggered frame staple. Pretty much this coil with space clapton frames and then fused together. That's a fantastic build. You really can't go wrong with, like I used a 3-core stainless steel, 326 gauge stainless steel cores with the 42 was a phenomenal build in there too. I haven't put anything in it where I've been like, oh, I'm not really a big fan of this build. You can't go wrong. I think the first build that I put in it was a round wire build, because I always like to see what like a simple round wire build will perform like in an RDA, because there are a lot of people who that's what they can build, you know. Not everybody can do even claptons or fuse claptons, so I try to get a perspective from like a beginner's point of view too. And even just a simple round wire build was fantastic in that. But so when you get into the more like exotic, flavorful coils, they work hand in hand. The Dead Rabbit and an exotic coil that work hand in hand to bring out like unbelievable flavor from juices that I've been vaping for years now, and I all of a sudden get new crisper, like more like deeper flavors. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But yeah, so there's a lot of builds that I like in the Rabbit. Oh jeez. All right, let me take a drink here and I'm going to get going. Speaking of juices, I just picked up Mr. Salty. This is for pod systems, the salt-derived nicotine. This is a blue raspberry lemonade, and it's pretty fantastic. A lot of salt-based nicotine juices. Their flavor, especially when you get up to the 25 and 45 milligram nicotine strengths, the flavor is just so muted, you just can't taste anything. But this blue raspberry lemonade really shines. Like, the actual flavor shines through, which is really refreshing. Alright, so now I'm ready. I'm going to take one more vape. Yeah, great build, Kyle. Absolutely. 24 gauge fuse claptons with 40. Absolutely. What? Yeah, dude, I know. If I spend a lot of time in the chat, I end up doing like 3-hour things and don't I have people in the comments yelling at me that I talk too much. I just need to build. You know, everybody knows how I should run my channel, except for me. No ordered. Whoops. Oh, not ordered. Heathen. Yeah, I'll email you about that. You don't need to do that. Thank you though. All right, I'm gonna get to building. All right. Boom. I found this new wire company. I used to get a lot of my wire from KB, but ever since I started getting that nichrome 90 from this company overseas, they've been doing all my wire for me. And they manufacture it there and everything. And once I tried their wire for the first time, I got some samples. I was hooked. Best wire I've ever used. The quality is phenomenal. I can get custom wire made. So if I want, so say like 26 is like 0.4 millimeters. If I want to get a 0.41 millimeter wire, so it'd be like a little bit thicker 26 gauge. They'll do that for me. I just have to order a shitload of it, but it's really fucking awesome wire, and I love it. But the only thing that I don't like, their spool, and I'll try to show you, their spools on the back have that little notch right there. So as I'm holding it with my finger, it really screws up my like, it's just a really weird sensation that I'm not used to, that I don't like. Come on, get in there. That might be enough right there. Alright. Let me see if this will work. Got it. Alright. So with this build in the beginning, until I know that everything's going smoothly, and even then I like to check periodically, I want to check and make sure that everything is still stacked and together the way it should be, because it is easy for a little piece of wire to pop out on you and you not notice. So just check periodically to make sure everything's still going smoothly. When you're working with really high gauge wire, like 38 and up, 36 you kind of have a little bit of leeway, but it's extremely important with the high gauges to keep your angle and your speed that you move your spool down the line consistent. Your angle needs to be consistent. With the high gauge wires, you can tell there'll be like darker and lighter spots, and that's that is caused by differences in tension, angle, and speed. Actually, speed doesn't really account for a lot of it, because as long as you keep the same tension and an angle, regardless of what speed you're going, but it's really hard to like adjust the tension and the angle on the fly as you change speed. So just try to stay consistent as possible with it. If you have a hand switch like this, am I gonna be able to, I have it put up right now, but I have a hand switch and a foot pedal. If you have something like that where you can lock the power at a certain level, that would be the way to go for a lot of builds, actually. I ran back on it. Like I backed up on itself. Which sucks because with 42 gauge, no, it's cramped that wire. It's crimped that wire and it's going to show in the build. What I try to do is put a little extra tension on the spool to try to straighten it out as I go. But that's risky because you can easily break the wire because it's so thin. But as you're going down, I forgot to mention earlier, you just want to use a light tension, just enough so it's wrapping snugly and not going anywhere and forming around the cores. But if you go too tight, you're going to bend the frames on into themselves. Damn it. So I really only need about 7 inches to get 5 wraps on a 3mm in a dual coil setup, but I do intentionally too much to give myself about an inch or two of extra rod, and that's purely just for to take pictures with it. All right, let me show you guys what I have. There you can kind of see the scope of it down at that end. All right. Now what I'm going to do to prevent, so with this really fine gauge wire, really high gauge thin wire, it is easy to, as you're wrapping, like push it down and like so it'll move around. You don't want that to happen because that will cause spacing in your wrap and not make it look clean and pretty. So what I do is I will either like crimp the ends, or I'll take the frames or just half of the build and like bend them in opposing see, I just pulled it. Bend them in opposing directions, and that just creates, it makes it so that the wrap, even if you tried to push it off, it's not going to be able to go anywhere because you've got like opposing bends, so the wire can't come off. And I'll do that on both ends. That way everything stays in place. Ah, fucker. And doesn't go anywhere as I wrap this. Fucker got me good. Alright. And I'm also going to take a look and see which, if one side looks flatter than the other. And then I'm going to grab my 3mm bit and start wrapping. I pull really tight, really hard. I go slow and twist either way if I need to make sure that it lays nice and flat. I did this build the other day with, instead of using 28 gauge frames, I used 0.5 by 0.2 flat wire. And that looks pretty cool. I haven't done pictures of it yet. 3, 4, 5. But so it's like really squared off and boxy. It looks pretty freaking cool. But so there's, that's really hard to see. That light's shining pretty bad. But yeah, so there's what it looks like. I'll take pictures of this and put them on Instagram either later today or later, I'm sorry, tomorrow or the next day, and I'll use the hashtag like Sherlock Live or something if you want to see what this looked like. Alright, so there's one. I'm going to cut the leads. I should have made them shorter. I'm going to cut the leads pretty short because I'm not giving this coil away or selling it, so I'm just going to cut the leads for me. I'm crimping this end because I have nothing to bend, just trying to keep everything together so it doesn't fall or slide off on me. Alright, let's see. Alright, I think I might actually install this coil in the Dead Rabbit. So as I said earlier, I'll save like a good inch or two of the finished rod. And it'll go in here. This is my box of exotic, like really super exotic coil, like rods. So I have like corrugated stuff in here. Pitchforks, monster aliens, things like that. All right. Let's see what we're working with. I don't know how I feel about these flush cuts by Coil Master. You know what I do like about them though? They're nice and thin. Like the blades are actually nice and thin, way thinner than the pair that I use. So when I'm using the Dead Rabbit, I'm never going to get this off with my hands. But it actually fits really, really well with room to spare underneath the posts. With my big ass flush cuts, it fits under it fits under 3 posts, but there's one where it gets snug and I can't get all the way back, but that's because my flush cuts are fat, really fat. All right. All right, guys. I gotta be up 4 hours. Keep up. Oh, thanks everybody. Thanks for everybody who's watching. All right. 700 mils juice coming your way. That's awesome, buddy. I'm actually really, really low on juice right now. I had a company send me their line to review, and I don't like any of the flavors. Not one of them. So, yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Speaking of juice, Drip Club sent me these juices. Like, just all of a sudden, out of nowhere. This one is pink squared, truffleberry, melon milk, bubble milk. Let me read you the flavor profiles on these. Alright, so pink is strawberry taffy candy with a hint of cream. Truffleberry is a rich chocolate truffle with sweet raspberry filling. Melon milk is refreshing and creamy honeydew treat. And then bubble milk is jasmine milk tea with honey glazed boba. I don't even know what the fuck a boba is. I haven't even opened them yet. Well, that's a lie. I tried this one, and Jess, my wife, likes the strawberry one. Oh wait. Yeah, no, I think she. Yeah. Oh wait. Nope. Yeah, she does like this one, and it's not. It's different. It's really weird because it's like a candy cream. I don't know. It's bizarre. But we're gonna try this one right now. Bubble milk. Oh, banana cream. Banana is my, one of my favorite. Wow, that's interesting. Wow, that's really different. I might like this juice. I don't know. That... I don't know what to think of that. Jasmine milk tea with honey glazed. I don't know. This is either going to vape incredibly or it's going to be terrible. We're going to try it. We're going to try it when I rebuild this this dead rabbit. Alright, let me get these out of the way. Alright, I'm going to finish what's in this tank. And then we will... I'll show you how to install these crazy coils. There they are, by the way. I don't know if I can get this to zoom. Did it work? Did it work? I can't see. We'll find out. Sounds crazy, home. 2 bags of boba, tapioca. Yeah, what is a, anybody know what a boba is? Dim sum bigs there. Yeah, they are big. They are big. Cut with... Good night, Chance, man. Thanks for being here, buddy. Oh, that's another thing. I now have Chance, one of my favorite Watsons. He's been with the channel for a while. He is a fantastic woodworker. He built this stand right here that you see my some of my RDAs on. He also built my swivel stand, and he has built swivel stands that I have available on my website. So if you're interested in a swivel stand like I have here, definitely go check out the website. They are very reasonable priced. They come with a Canada terry cloth or microfiber cloth. He's from Canada, so he contributed some microfiber cloths. So each one comes with eye hooks, eye screws, so you can attach your swivels directly to the stand. They are for lefties and righties. They're built for both. They're what's the word I'm thinking of? Not unisex, but for like hand. You can use them regardless if you're right-handed or left-handed. So definitely check those out if you're something made from tapioca starch. Oh, thanks, chef. Chef, you would know. You would know, chef. But yeah, so check out the build stuff, the build stands if you are looking for a build stand. They're fantastic. He made them out of cedar, so they're moisture resistant. They're extremely sturdy. They're antimicrobial, and they have a cork bottom. So if you have to move them or they're on a desk that you don't want to damage, they will not damage the surface that you put them on. So definitely check those out. Ambidextrous. Yeah, well, ambidextrous is being able to use both hands. So you're not a righty, you're not a lefty. You may be like right dominant, but you can use both to write, to throw, to whatever. That applies to like, I'm not a righty, I'm not a lefty, I'm ambidextrous. So saying like, well, I guess you could say the stand is ambidextrous, but yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Universal. There we go. Whew. Yeah. Yeah. That'll be it. Mr. King, I am doing well. Thank you for asking. I am so busy, bud. Alright. Let me chase up here in the comments. Fruity Pebble. Cotton. Yeah. I'm not big on the fruits. Wow, All Day Vape, you got a lot of new stuff, huh? Noisy Cricket 2 is a fantastic device. I don't know about the Phoenix bottom feeder. Just trying to scroll up here in these comments to see if there's any questions that I can answer. Awesome. Rob, if you're still in chat, I'm happy I could help. Yeah, mattress, you don't have to use any specific wire for wattage mode. You can run anything in wattage mode. So if you have stainless steel, don't like buy kanthal specifically to because you think you have to use kanthal to run wattage. You can use anything in wattage as far as materials go. You know, I've actually never tried temperature control. I just I've always, from people who have tried it, I've always heard it's horseshit. Because the mod doesn't have, does it have the technology to be able to read the temperature? I don't think. Plus, I would set temperature to like 1,000,000 degrees Celsius because I like it as hot as possible. Yeah, that's how I feel, Jeremy. It's just a huge gimmick because they don't have a thermometer in them. And different builds are going to do different things. So unless the mod can detect, I don't know. There's just so many different variables. how I don't think the technology's there to really to like sustain an actual temperature control. Why, Chef? I know people that use nickel and titanium in wattage mode. Yeah, Rob, that's what I heard, is that people can't get it, like, it's really hard unless, so the only people that I've heard that actually really enjoy temperature control are people who like a calmer, cooler kind of vape. But for everybody that I know that likes to vape the way I do, like really hot and intense, temperature control hasn't really been something that they've enjoyed. Never dry burn titanium. Yeah, I've heard that. Never dry burn titanium. Alright, let me get building here. Take out this tab. Oh, how about that? The battery door just fell off. Oh, okay. That must have been a fluke. Oh, there it is again. Okay. Alright, let me grab my rabbit here. So I have a 0.11 build in here now. Some pretty big framed staples. I'm going to pull these out. I'll clean them up and put those away because I definitely want to save those. I always feel like I'm going to cut my hand off with these things. These really pointy, deadly tweezers are pretty cool. Gotta give them that. I actually do really like these. Whoa. Actually, I almost forgot. Let me throw these. I'm going to do just a single cycle on these coils, just to clean them up a bit. At least sanitize them before I vape them. Alright, so there's the old coils. Alright. I'm just going to give the rabbit a little bit of a bath before I build on it. I just like a nice clean surface to work with. What did I do with the red drip tip? There it is. What do we got going on? See that? Alright, so the toxic chemicals created by heating nickel to really high temperatures. Like, that's not good, because any kind of nichrome has nickel in it. Like, nichrome 90 is 90% nickel. The best size swivels for building, that depends on the brand of swivels. Like if you see, I have a almost 4-inch swivel here. And then I have it's like 1 1/4 inch swivel. It depends. I mean, really, the size doesn't matter as much as the quality of the swivel. All swivels, no matter what brand they are, eventually, if you're spinning too fast or putting too much tension on them, you'll burn out the bearings, regardless of what brand it is, what kind. But if you just kind of keep in mind that you don't need to do those things, like you don't need to be railing, like pulling so hard on your drill. As long as you have a good brand of swivel, it should last you for a while. Now, naturally, they'll burn out after a few months, no matter what brand you get. But size, you know, the bigger the swivel, the bigger the bearings. Now, it's hard to say. I wouldn't go with the little guys. 1.5 inches, 1 1/4 inch would be the smallest that I would go, and I think that would equate to like around a 50-pound test. That big swivel that I have, that's like a 750-pound test. It's really, man, it took me a long time to find the right swivels. I have swivels available on my website. Kaiser, I have not. I'm too small, man. Nobody wants to. Heathen's like the only person that like any Heathen's like the only like famous YouTuber that talks to me. Nobody else really knows who I am. So not yet. I've you know, I talked to like Country and Isaiah from Gentleman's E-Liquid, all us small guys, like hang out and do sometimes live videos. I'd love to collab with people because I think it would be really cool to do a build tutorial where I show you my way of building, say, a frame staple, and then that builder can show you his way, and we can like stack them back to back and break it down like, all right, so here's how I prep my wire, here's how he preps his wire, here's how I set my cores, here's how he sets his cores, here is his spool techniques and suggestions, and I do mine. So like because I strongly believe that there's no right or wrong way to build. The right way to build is whatever way that works for you. So I think presenting as much information as possible would be the best way to do it. So I would love to collab because what works for me might not work for you. That's why I try to show different methods, different ways, different things that I've learned. Some things are just easier than others, like generally accepted, like using swivels is way easier than doing it freehand. But yeah, so I'd really love to do some sort of collaboration with other builders. I think that would be awesome. I'm actually just met, not met, but like kind of got into the same sphere as like Dwayne Rambo, because we're in some of the same Facebook groups. So I I'm going to start heading in that direction. I'd really like to do that. All right, I'm burning up my battery here, letting this sit. Let me get these coils from over here. What did I do with them? Oh, here they are. All right. Can you see this? This fucking door fell off again. Come on, Coil Master. All right. Oh, I love flathead screws. Flathead or Phillips, I'm all about them. I hate hex head screws, grub screws. I hate them. I hate hex heads. All right. God, this thing is so big. All right. I'm going to do my initial guesstimate cut here. Ugh. Ugh. That was perfect. All right. This is a little bit of a tight squeeze, not because the coils won't... I don't know what just happened. Huh. Okay, so this is a little bit of a tight squeeze, not because the coils won't fit in the post, but because it's such a wide coil. Like 4 wraps probably would have been perfect, but I don't want it to ohm that low. I don't want the resistance that low. So let me see. Raise that one up a bit. Okay. So that's looking pretty good so far. All right. I'm going to tighten down these leads, and then I'll get to molding them and putting some color on them. I'm probably going to heat them up on the mod because I can't control the heat well enough with this thing, I don't think. You know what? I'll try it for sake of... because I have to do a review on this thing, so I want to be able to see what I can do with it. Right now I'm just making sure that the leads are really tight. Tight like a tiger. Alright. So right now, pre-fire, we're looking at 0.06. And that's going to go way up. Alright. I'm just nitpicking right now, trying to make them look pretty, but for sake of time. Now they're at 0.08. As I warm these up and fire them, they'll probably go up to like 0.1, 0.1, 2 maybe. All right, now we're cooking. I'm gonna try to get closer to you guys here. So I'm just introducing heat a little bit at a time. I'm trying to get them without introducing a ton of heat. I'm trying to work out the hot spots before I can even see what's actually getting hot. I'm priming the middle. I'm getting it worked out. I want the hot spots out. That way when I start heating up to temperatures in which the metal will oxidize and turn a color, I want it to be even. I don't want to just have, you know, the only left side of the coil be, you know, purple and the rest just be gold and silver. I want it to be even. So that's why you want to try to like do what you would do to work out the hot spots before you start getting the heat attached, or the heat introduced. Attached, jeez. Take your time when you're trying to do colors. Don't rush it. I don't know if you can see, but I have gold coming in now. And I could tell that this coil is coming in nicely. The other one, I'm having a hot spot like here-ish, which I kind of knew was going to happen because of the shape of the coil. That's why I kind of wanted to, I don't know why this coil did that. With this really fine gauge wire, it's easy to damage these coils. So you got to be really careful when you're digging around at these things. All right. Can you see? So there's a delay from when you push the button until it actually fires. It's like probably a whole second of delay. I really want these colors to come in evenly. That's why I'm taking so much time to try to get this one on the left to go. All right. I'm having some purples come out, a little bit of blue there where it's way too hot. You can see a little bit the color that's coming out. It's not going to look as vibrant for you guys as it does for me. But I'm right there at the blues and the purples. I still have a little bit of gold left on the edges. Normally this is where I would stop and take pictures, but obviously not going to do that. Alright, so there we go. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see the blue. Alright. Now I'm going to wick it up. I got that Ango rabbit. Yeah, that's right. I still fucking love this shit. And I'm not getting paid to say it. It's just fantastic fucking cotton. Alright. Boom. So the dead rabbit, for those of you who haven't used it, you really want to wick the hell out of it. Not like wick the hell out of it, but you need long, because the coil sits so high, you need long wicks. Because of that, and because this cotton is so fluffy and expands, you generally use a little bit less than I normally would for other RDAs. And I'm just going to guesstimate here and pull it in half. The final resistance on this came to 0.08. Okay. I thought it was going to be a little bit higher than that, but that's okay. 0.08 is fine. I have the batteries to support the 0.08 build. Let me use these new guys. Come here. Oh, that's fantastic. I like these little tweezers. I actually have a pair of these, don't I? They're not as sharp and crazy as these ones, though. Okay. Ugh. I don't know about these scissors. Oh, that one was okay. The jury's out on these scissors. We'll see. I'm just trimming off some of this cotton because there's so much of it. I don't need so much. Okay. All right. Alright, now I'm going to try this funky juice. Bubble milk. Jasmine milk tea with honey glazed boba. Man, I don't know if I'm going to like this, and if I don't, I'm going to have to re-wick this thing. Whatever, I'll try it. Oh, God. Every time I drop stuff, every time. Alright, what's up, everybody? Let me see. Sorry, Jim. Alright, Jim, I just saw your question. Ask Kenny 4 times what he uses to wrap nichrome 90 with. What do you mean, bud? Let me try to find your original question. Like if I do a 3-core 26 fused clapton with the nichrome 90, I'll wrap it in either 46 kanthal or the 30 or the 42 stainless steel. I like a lot, especially for the color. 40 is great with the nichrome 90. Right now, buddy, if you're trying to place an order, I can only accept Amazon Pay currently because, again, my merchant account got shut down, or my credit card processor, because of the FDA's pressure on the banking industry to not accept anything to do with vaping. This Mac country is the Sub-Ohm Innovation Sub-Zero competition mod. And this is the matching RDA that goes on top. But it is also a standalone RDA. When you use the RDA for the mod, that piece doesn't go on, so it just goes on like this. Oh. Solid silver contacts. Fantastic system. Oops. Get in there. All right. After fused claptons, if you don't want to start with aliens, there are some really great builds that you can do. Like helixes are fantastic for flavor. Like especially when you get into like staple helixes, they are fantastic for flavor. You can do like chainsaw coils. You can do some different kinds of parallel. You can mess around with parallel fused claptons. So if you have your 24 gauge fused claptons made of kanthal, try adding a parallel nichrome wrap throughout. You can do there's all kinds of builds. You can do like hammered or polished builds. You can do like a chain coil where you twist 3 pieces of wire real tight and then hammer it out, it ends up looking like a chain. That's a pretty cool build. All those flat surfaces where the wire was flattened together creates these crazy like juice pockets almost. That's a really great flavorful vape as well. You can do staggered claptons. You can go into staggering. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. Ghost vapor. Ghost vapor. Ghost vapor. Oh, delicious. Alright, let's get building. So this is going to be a very low build, so I'm definitely going to throw in a new Aspire battery. Fresh. Again, for anybody who didn't see these in the beginning, I highly recommend these batteries if you're going to be... I drop everything. If you're going to be building low or on max, definitely invest in some of these. They're fantastic. I don't know how I had gone so long without them. Look at that contact. That's the contact. Solid silver. Fucking huge. Alright. I can get this out of the way. I don't know if I'm gonna like this juice. Oh god, I guess I gotta just try it, right? Yeehaw. Alright, here's our build. .08 was the final resistance for anybody who missed that part. You know what? This smells pretty good. This is going to be like a 50-50. I'm either going to love or hate this juice, I feel. I don't know. That's bizarre. Oh, those O-rings are tight. Okay. That is like vaping a flower. Like, that vapes like, it tastes like a flower smells. Ugh. Ugh. I don't know, guys. Yeah, tea bags. Ugh, so bad. Ugh. 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 Yeah, so that's terrible. That is not for me, that juice. Ugh. That is definitely one of the most interesting juices that I've ever experienced. If I were into, like, you know, vaping plants, I'd be all about it. But I'm not. Alright, so let's re-wick this now. That's going to be way too much cotton. Yeah, so I'm going to give this juice away. For sure. The patrons are definitely getting hooked up this month. Okay. This time I'm going to do a juice that I know I like, so I can enjoy this awesome vape. It hits fantastic. The coils perform magically. Oh, let's talk about this juice. This is a juice I thought I was going to hate. This is Chubby Fruit Vapes. That might be the company, Chubby. Or that just might be the line, Chubby Fruit Vapes. I don't know much about these guys. I don't even know the website or the company. My buddy Colin just gave me this bottle when he was here the other day. But this is a blueberry pear juice. This is the first pear flavored juice that I ever had. And from what I saw about people in pear, it's tough to get a good one. But this is fantastic. This is a really, really awesome, light, crisp, fresh juice. And I've just really enjoyed it. And I thought I was going to hate it. I've been really trying to keep an open mind lately about fruit vapes and things other than dessert and bakery kind of flavors. So I wouldn't have even probably tried to vape this. I would have tasted it, but I wouldn't have actually vaped it. But I'm glad I did. It's really, really good. Really good. I'm trying to find flavors besides bakery and dessert flavors that I can actually vape. There are a lot where I can, drip them for a little while, but not very many at all that I can actually vape for an extended period of time. That almost hits too hard for me. Almost. Alright, let's get cleaned up here. Then we'll get wrapping up. Alright, any more questions while we're on the juice topic? Current favorite juice? Make my own CBD tincture. Oh yeah? Sip-a-day. Sip-a-day. This one by Coil Vapes. Custard. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, banana bondage is phenomenal. Bogan brews. Mix banana with something hard blue and with some melon mix. That sounds really interesting. Hard blue. I don't know what hard blue is, but melon and banana. Yeah, Derek. I'm a big fan of copper mods, for sure. I like brass too. They're just brass and copper are very difficult to keep clean. What's the best coil for flavor? That is a question I get asked all the time. It's such a hard question to answer. That and what coil should I get for this setup, and what you know, what's the best coil for this? And it really, there's no great answer that I could give people when they ask me that, because different coils are going to be better for different people for different reasons. This coil is astounding for flavor, like unbelievable for flavor. But if you don't like really hot, intense, explosive vape, then you're not going to like this. If you like hot and explosive vapes, you will like this. If you don't, then you won't like this coil. But you could do a smaller version of this that ohms at like a 0.24-ish, run that at a lower wattage, and you could probably get something that you would like with the outstanding flavor. You could also do a single coil and get some pretty good flavor there as well. Ooh, this is pretty hot. I'm going to give this a rest for a second. Ooh, buddy. Okay, so let's, for 80 vapor, for like an 80 watt, $30 basically. That's pretty low. So what resistance do you normally run at 30 watts? Micro fuse claptons. Yeah, there's a ton of great coils for flavor. Aliens are fantastic. I mean, you could do like a 2-core alien fuse clapton, and you can get that to the resistance pretty high, and vape that a little bit cooler and still get fantastic flavor. You can do a 3-core alien clapton. You could do like a 3-core staggered fuse clapton. Those are really great for flavor. Let's see. Cat tracks are fantastic for flavor. And they ohm pretty high. You can do a even some like staggered frame staples or staple stagger fuse claptons. Some of those, if you can build them at a high enough resistance, those would be great at around the 80 watts. Yeah, see, when you're doing, yeah, that's at that low of a wattage, you're pretty. Or yeah, you need. It's hard to build really exotic coils that come out to around 0.4. You could do. I did a custom build for somebody. It was a series. Came out to 0.3-ish. It was like 0.27. And they were 28 gauge tri-core alien fused claptons. And those would be pretty great for flavor. But needing around a 0.4, that's tough. That's tough to do anything exotic. What you could do 28 gauge fused claptons with like a high wrap wire. So you wrap it in like 38, 40, 42, 46, 45, 55, whatever it is you have available to you. You could do like a helix or a staple helix would be even better. I don't know. That's a great question. Maybe people in the comments have some suggestions. Yeah, that's nutty. 0.68. I've never built that high ever. When you're doing something single coil, you have a little bit more room to work with because you pretty much have double the resistance right off the bat. But the Merlin Mini, I love it. I do. I love it. I've only been using it since yesterday. I just got it in a couple days ago. Where is it? Let me throw it back on here. I freaking love it. I'll say that. I'll save it for the review. But yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm really enjoying it. I love where is it? Did you get this piece with it? Or do you have to purchase this separately? It's the RDA conversion kit. But I'm loving it. I couldn't believe how much I liked the conversion cap, because you know, a dripper and an RTA are just fundamentally different, and I was just wildly impressed with how fantastic the performance was from the conversion cap. Yeah, fantastic. Oh God, I love it. The flavor is great. At wide open, at wide open, the airflow is nearly perfect. If I close it down, I'm talking just a fraction, like maybe a quarter to a half a millimeter. It is right, the perfect airflow. It's equivalent to, so this, the Dead Rabbit, perfect airflow, right, wide open is exactly how I like it. Maybe same thing, turned down just a little tiny bit. Same thing. I don't have to go playing around for a great airflow. It's just boom, right there. So when I put the RDA cap onto it, it's the same thing. It's perfect airflow, and the flavor is outstanding. Now it's not as good as like the Petri that I have. The Petri still just blows everything else that I've tried out of the water as far as flavor is concerned. But yeah, I'm impressed with it. I've heard great things about it, and it was on my list of things to check out. So when Vape said they'd send me one to try, I was all about it. So yeah, I'm pumped. I really like it. I'm surprised how much I actually like the rainbow. I was never, you know, rainbow never really interested me as far as the color, but I like it. I really like it. I think it looks really nice. There's like greens, purples, blues, a little bit of yellow, some gold. It just looks badass. Another cool thing about their drip tip here, or their cap, the conversion kit, is that it is Goon compatible, so you can put all kinds of different drip tips in there. Now they don't fit like tremendously. Some of them fit better than others. But like that looks kind of cool with the little Altum, kind of matchy on the yellow. Where's the green one? I don't know where the green one is. my issue with the rainbow is I don't have much to put it on to match. Yeah, the Petrie 24 RTA is my favorite RTA by far. RTAs have come so far, even in the last 6 months. I remember when, like, the Moonshot, I have a Moonshot. That thing was a major pain in the ass. Like, unbelievable pain in the ass to build in. The deck was free floating, so it spins as you're trying to build in it, and then to wick it is a whole nother monster, and it's just so hard to wick correctly, and it's just like, fuck this. I mean, there's been some decent ones over time, but it just seems like now everything that's released is fantastic. Even with the RDAs, like, the quality that they're coming out with, like, just everything seems so awesome. And it's hard because everything is really, really great. I haven't tried anything that I haven't liked or that I've hated. There's been things where, like, the airflow really wasn't for me, or you know, it just wasn't my style. Like, I wouldn't, like, aesthetically wouldn't like it. But there hasn't been anything that I've hated. I haven't seen anything that I just completely didn't like it. So I don't know if that's a testament to where the industry's going, or, I mean, it has to be. The quality, the innovation, things they're coming out with is just fantastic. Like the Washington, I love the magnets. I love the clamps, the big ass rods, and it's like a 5mm by 3mm post hole, so I can get anything I want into this deck, and the airflow is incredible on this. What build do I have in the Merlin? That is a fantastic question. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see because they're kind of black, but they are alien fused claptons. So the flavor in this is like really, really, really great because I have these aliens in here. Oh, you know what these are? These are my limited edition alien fused claptons. So these are nichrome 90, 24 gauge nichrome 90 wrapped in 36. And they just pump flavor. Definitely one of my favorite coils, hands down. Yeah, let me go ahead and pop that conversion top on. Is that the right name for it? I thought I had the little tube it came in. But yeah, so it screws on. There's that plate, or that ring that screws on, and then it just becomes a dripper, which is just so cool. Boom. The resistance on this is, I forgot. All right, so according to the Coilmaster 521 Plus tab, the resistance is 1.14, 0.17, 0.17, 0.14, 0.17, 0.25, 0.19. Something's going on here. Not liking that too much. Let's try this again. Uh-oh, Coilmaster. 0.30. Now it says 0.14. 0.15. Oof, I don't know about that, guys. What do you think about that? That was kind of sketchy, huh? I don't know how I feel about that being all over the place like that. Congratulations, Mark. That is a major milestone. If you're anything like me, man, I had come to the point in my smoking career where I accepted that I was going to die of cancer or emphysema because nothing would work for me. I just had accepted that I was going to be a smoker for the rest of my life. So to hit a year without smoking, I remember when I hit my year, it still sometimes baffles me that I don't smoke cigarettes. It's just so fucking awesome. What's up, JFM Development? Thanks for stopping by, buddy. If you guys are into mixing, in chat right now, JFM Development, he's got a channel dedicated to mixing. Definitely check him out if you're into the DIY juice scene. All right. Yeah, so to answer your question, it came out to 0.15. What am I? Oh, okay. You're welcome, JFN. That's why I do it. Yeah, I don't know about this plus yet. I'm gonna give it. Probably another week of really like slamming on it. Like I'm gonna put it through its paces, and then I'll do my review. And if it sucks, I'll tell you guys for sure. I'm really so as I do reviews and like as things come out for me to review, if I'm lucky enough to continue to be able to continue to do that, I think I'm going to approach things from like a builder's perspective. Like I'm not just going to strictly speak like as a builder for builders, but I'm definitely going to put an emphasis on the building side of things. So especially for like the obviously for the Coil Master build kit and then the ohm reader, you know, those are designed for builders. So I'm gonna really beat the balls off of those and find out if they're worth the money or not. But for devices and things, I'm gonna try to approach it from like a builder's perspective almost, because I don't know if there's anybody really doing that. I don't know of... Well, I guess Homeboy Josh is a builder, right? He builds coils. But I don't know if he does... I don't really watch his stuff, so I don't know if he approaches things with a builder's perspective. So this thing, with the Merlin conversion, the RDA conversion, it really, really rocks as an RDA. I love that. This is the first time I've ever used anything that converts from an RDA to an RTA back and forth like this. I'm like speechless. I love that this works this way. So if I'm, you know, around the house, I can drip. If I'm, you know, if I'm around the house and just hanging out and building, I can drip and rock on the RDA. But then if I'm going out and I've got the kids and stuff and I can't really be screwing around, I can just fill this up and have the containment and it'd be so much easier for me. So I really, really like that aspect of this device. Even though it's a bottom airflow, you can still sort of sploosh your juice in there because it's got a nice deep juice well. And the bottom airflow holes are protruding up out of the actual juice well, so you can get a fair amount of juice in there before it'll leak. Yeah, I like it. The trick to interlocking aliens. Yeah, have patience. Keep doing it. Practice. I'll do a video on them soon. That's a little too much to get into just like on a live stream. I'd have to like demonstrate and stuff. They're definitely on my list though. Those and mohawks. I'm definitely going to get to them. If I wouldn't... Alright, so here's one thing that I'm definitely going to like focus on as I do these Coil Master reviews. The kit itself comes with a ohm reader. Like a fully functioning fire and everything, like little build deck ohm reader. So I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to do the review all at once, like together in one, or if I'm going to do them separate. But I'm going to definitely answer the question, like, should you buy both? Do you need both of these things? And I don't know if that's the case. I'm pretty sure if you're not, I don't know if there's a need for that big thing. I don't know. Is it going to be that much better than this? Like, do you have to buy them separate, or will this suffice? I'm pretty sure this, like this kit with the ohm reader in it, would suffice for 90% of people. Excuse me. I couldn't imagine a circumstance where you need this. If you have all the tools you need and you don't need the tools in here, then I would just buy this. Or if they have that little one for cheaper. But I can say for certain, if you're a builder, you need some sort of device to be able to read your resistance. So some sort of ohm reader, I strongly recommend. If you don't have one, you need to get one. Like, that should be a priority before you buy any more juice, before you buy a new mod or an RDA. Get yourself an ohm reader. Please get yourself an ohm reader. Safety is tremendously important. Alright guys, we've been on for a while. I did the build. I told you about the new products and coils. There's merchandise over on the site, so definitely check it out. Again, I only take Amazon Pay right now, but yeah, I also do custom builds, so if you want something that's not on the site, just contact me and let me know, and we get you all set up. And yeah, so thank you everybody so much for watching. If you made it this far, you guys are the best. Thanks for everybody who tuned in live, everybody for watching the replay. So that was the 10 core frame staple. We did 28 gauge frames, 0.4 by 0.1 ribbon wire cores, and then wrapped it up in 42 gauge 316L stainless steel. The rest of it was kanthal. And it came out to 0.08, 0.09. It was kind of jumping back and forth. Put it in the Dead Rabbit, and it was awesome. It was an awesome build. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, letting me do this build for you. I hope you learned something. If you'd like to get involved in supporting the channel so I can keep doing build tutorials and stuff like this, definitely check out my Patreon. The link is in the description, and if you do that, some of the rewards are giveaways. Like when I give away stuff that these companies send me, I do it on the Patreon, and I also do coil giveaways and stuff like that monthly. So worth a look, worth a look. But SherlockHolmes.com is the website. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in and getting involved. I know I really wasn't like really interactive in this one because it was specifically like a build tutorial kind of thing. Next live stream I do, I'll probably be more interactive. We're going to have some guests on and stuff, try to plan a show. But with that, see, I want to do something different. I don't want, you know, 3 to 5 guys on a screen just talking about nonsense. I'd like to have it be like a little bit more specific and polished than that, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know what I have coming up. Always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, criticism, whatever it is, drop it in the comments. I always try to get back to everybody in the comments. So again, thank you for watching. You guys are the best. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'm Sherlock Holmes, and I will see you in the next one.